All right, so here we go with another Scotch doubles match here at the APA 8-ball event in Lincoln City, Oregon. We have team names 16, which is Scott Bernard, a skill level 7, and his partner Ashley Rogers, who's a skill level 4. They are playing against Lucky to Be Here, which is Chad Andreessen and Matt Becken. Chad is a 6 and Matt is a 5, so this is a very even matchup with the skill levels. Both are racing to 3 games, so it's a straight-up race to 3. Match number 117B, in case you're following the bracket online. And my name is Patrick Nix. I'll be your commentator for this match. Players are using the EvoSports live stream platform to live stream their match. Players are doing all of the live streaming and heavy lifting themselves, using the scoreboard on the tablet that's provided to them, starting and stopping the stream from there. And Scott Bernard with the break, second ball break. And looks like he's pocketed a stripe. Or no, he has not actually. Well, did something go in? I thought a stripe went in, but I could be wrong. I think I just messed up on who was breaking. I believe that was Chad Andreessen that broke that, and his partner Matt was the one that took that shot there. And so now coming to the table with solids. Coming to the table will be Ashley Rogers, skill level 4. Looking like the only available shot to her to get started here would be the 5-ball. So Chad and Matt from Lucky to Be Here, getting to work on stripes here. And I think he wanted to bring his partner up a little bit higher with that cue ball, just to have a little better opportunity on that purple 12. It's going to be a little bit of a cut shot here, which means he's going to be sending the cue ball down towards the 2. Oh, excellent shot. Oh, so close. Great attempt. And now Ashley back to the table for 16. right, so the 9 ball is tied up for stripes, but there is a ball that can kind of get you in there, which is that 12 ball. So I think Chad and Matt are going to try to figure out how they can get over to that other side of the table to get shape. And this could be a way to do it. I think if you play the 11 here on this shot, you have the opportunity to bring the cue ball 3 rails around back here. So ideal position for the cue ball is going to be right in this area up here, which will allow them to play the 12 and then the 9 and have a chance to run out this rack. So this is a difficult shot though to get that shape just perfect, but it is there. The line is there. And yes, he gets there. Well done. Well done. Yes, so nice. Just all you need here is just a little slow roll. Just softly tap that 12 ball in and you have the 9 in the bottom corner. And then it's all about just getting shape on the 8 after that. So having a little conference here to see exactly where they want to be on the 9 to have shape on the 8. So I like their strategy here. They're focused on the position on the 9 to get to the 8. That's the smart thing to do here because the 8 ball is a little bit touchy, the position on the 8. Saying you want to be out a little bit from the rail so you can hit that 9 and just bump the 4 afterwards and have a clean shot at the 8 in the top left corner. I think ideally you want the 8 going that way after these 2 balls. So let's see if they can get this done. So they're going to give the 9 a little nudge, and that changed around things a little bit. That changed things a little bit. The 8 no longer plays in that top left corner. But it does play in the bottom left corner, so I think he's going to have to cut this ball. Don't think that he can see enough of it to play it in the side pocket, so I think he has to play it down into this bottom left corner here. Yep, that's where he's marking. This will be a really high-quality out here to get out of this rack if they can complete this run out. Sending a strong message at the early start of this match.
It is you've got the shat. You've got the shat. Please go to table 23. It's going to be Izzy and Hannah. You've got the shat.
So here we go.
Shaft. What?
Matt Becken with this 8 ball. Just overcuts it a little bit.
Go to 23.
And that's going to give a window of opportunity. A window of opportunity over to team 16, Scott and Ashley. So here we go. Scott is a skill level 7. And Ashley is a 4.
Speaking of shafts, though, if you need yours clean, head over to Craig. He'll clean your shaft and shape your tip and everything. Head over to Craig. On the way, say hi to Merle, sign up, beat the Merle. Extra practice and bragging rights, beat the Merle. Table 0.
Trying to read Ashley's shirt. It looks kind of funny. I haven't quite gotten to read it yet. Let's see here. Quit and continue. We'll get another look at it in a second. Okay, nice play on the 4-ball. Ashley setting up Matt with the shot on the 3 to kind of pound that thing in there. So he's going to have to pound it in with top. 3-ball goes here, and he's going to pound the cue ball off the rail and try to get into this position right here. Give his partner a nice, clean look at that 6-ball. Let's see what he's got. It's a bit of a stroke here. Uh-oh. Side pocket. Oh, danger. He had a little more angle than I thought and he didn't have to put a ton of pace on that ball to get it up table, which is always nice. But now Ashley has to come with the big-time pressure shot here to start the match for this first rack. This is a pressure cooker. It's kind of a miss and lose. Oh, and she drills it. She's setting her partner up for a bank shot, though. So bank to the side, I'm guessing. Yes, he's calling the side pocket. Now he is marking the pocket, I believe, with a chalk. I'm not sure that's within the rules. I don't really know for sure, but he has marked the side pocket. So I don't know if it matters. Good try, but he keeps the cue ball all the way on the bottom. So I think his focus was really keeping that cue ball on the bottom of the table to, in case he missed it, he wants to leave them a very long distance shot. So a bit of distance here and very, very straight. These are some of the harder shots to execute. When the object ball's in the center of the table and it's dead straight. Oh, and so close. And he's not gonna concede the match, but he's considering conceding the match there and just poking the 8-ball in, but it's kind of all but over with on this rack number 1. Looks like it will be going to team 16. Ashley with the 8-ball. And they are on the board. 16 is up 1-0 in a short race to 3. And a little disappointing, but you can't be disappointed in missing that 8-ball. That was a very tough 8-ball to make. We all miss those. Every one of us in here is capable of missing that shot frequently. So good job from Scott Bernard to keep that cue ball on the bottom of the table, knowing that if he missed the 8-ball from the 8-ball bank in the side, that he wasn't going to be selling out anything easy. And that strategy ultimately got them the win. So here we go. Scott Bernard with a second ball break. And pretty much every single ball except for the 9-ball is on half the table. We're playing a half table game here. That's the way second ball breaks usually go. A lot of times the balls end up on one side of the table. Nice combo there from Matt. Team lucky to be here. Gets his partner Chad a good opportunity. Lots of potential options here. Chad is a 6 and Matt is a 5. You know, I've heard in Scotch doubles that it tends to favor the teams that are more evenly rated versus a high and a low. You probably like, instead of having a 6 and a 4, you'd rather have 2 5s because they sort of typically are more on the same page with what the game plan is because they're of more of the same skill set, but not always is the case. But if that's true, that would favor Chad and Matt, a 6 and a 5 versus Scott and Ashley, who are a 7 and a 4. A little bit more of a disparity there, but that doesn't always bode the same way. So okay, so now he's going to have to play this 6 ball rail first, and I don't see that that's going to get his partner anything on the 7. So pretty tough situation to be in. You've gotten all your soldiers off the field. You've gotten the easy balls out of the way, and you're leaving the 7 ball as the last ball on the table. It's, again, not the best situation to be in. There it is. So now the only ball you have is the ball that's in trouble. So you have to break it out, and you don't really have a pocket to shoot at. And so everything's going to be opened up after this for Team 16. He does send that 7 for a ride. Does it get lucky? No. And I tell you what, he ended up in a pretty good spot, leaving that cue ball all the way down on the bottom rail. I think that was a bit of fortune. Good fortune there. I have to imagine that Team 16, Ashley, coming to the table, has got to be looking for a safety here.
Table 7.
I think there's lots of safety opportunities that are available. You could just come up. You could just come up and hit this 13 ball and roll the cue ball into this spot here. Just kind of bump the 13 into the 10. I like that. You got lots of room to hide. You got the 9 and the 11 as blockers. So that's a potential option. Now that one I'm not oh, it does go in. Oh, very fortunate that ball went in because that would have set up for the win for the other team. A little bit of a high-risk shot there from Ashley, but I think she got rewarded with making that ball. And keeping them on the table, but Scott not able to execute the 9 ball. However, leaving that 9 ball right in front of the pocket is sort of a little bit of an insurance policy so that the other team can't really easily get the 7 and 8 in. Okay. So Stripes at the advantage here, probably wanting to save that 9 ball for last. You don't need to pocket it now. Unless you know you're going to be able to get out of the rack. You want to leave that 9 ball on the table for as long as you can, because that's what's your little insurance policy, I call it. Okay, Ashley attempting the 13 in the corner. It's a little full, but I think she did good holding that cue ball for a difficult shot on the 7. I think maybe there's a bank shot there, but it doesn't really have any reward to it. There's no... Somehow you got to figure out how to get that 7 not in a pocket, but down by the 8 ball, so you can try to use it to your advantage in a tactical battle here. If you pocket it in a pocket and you're only left with the 8 ball that's stuck, you're going to be in a bad situation. So
all right. Table 8. Twisted Q. And remains to be seen. It remains to be seen if there's twisted Qs on table 8.
all right, so Scott Bernard taking on this 10-15 combo. Wants to roll the cue ball forward, and that's pretty good. He got a little bit underneath that 12 ball, so not super ideal because Ashley has to back cut this 12 into the pocket, which is going to send the cue ball up this direction, maybe towards the 7. You know, you could get into trouble. But I think if she just hits it nice and soft, I don't think it's going to get into too much trouble. The only problem is if you roll it behind the 7, but I don't think it will. So she hits it a little firmer with some pace to try to kind of bring it around and back. Not a bad idea. Her partner, Scott, is a skill level 7. He can handle these kind of situations pretty well.
22.
Just
Chrome polos
make your
and
ball
old
and
pillows.
trust your opponent.
Old pillows and chrome polos, table 22. Table 21. Just Dandy and Crancy. Crancy and Just Dandy on table 21.
Well played from Scott. And Ashley just needs to complete another back cut. This one a little bit sharper of an angle. She's going to mark that bottom right corner. And just try to thin cut that in there. You do have to watch the scratch here because this could easily scratch this cue ball right into that top left corner.
Right. Table 29.
We see that quite a bit on these shots because you can't hold the cue ball. It's going to move. Just make the 8 ball.
Table 29.
Okay, so she didn't make the 8 ball, but she doesn't scratch. So this does give the opportunity to team lucky to be here. Chad at the table. Drains the 7 ball, and we are looking at, we're going to have a 1-1 tie here. All right, so here we go. Rack number 3. Head ball break from the side. Looks to be a dry break, I believe. Or did he make a solid? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like he did make a solid. So I believe lucky to be here. Must take the solids. It's kind of the disadvantage of take what you make. You kind of get sometimes an unlucky ball on the break and doesn't really give you the suit that's easiest, because I certainly think that stripes is an easier suit to play here. But they did not have the choice, had to take solids. And a nice breakout shot from Scott. Excellent combo shot from Ashley there to keep this momentum going. And did she get enough roll out of that cue ball to give Scott a chance at the 12? I'm not sure she did. He might have to put a little bit of masse on this to swerve around the 8 ball. I'm not sure if he's got it. Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to swerve it a little bit around the 8. Oh, what a shot. And gets the breakout, so now sets up a bank shot for Ashley. This is a strong team. Both teams are shooting very strong in this match. Okay, so team lucky to be here is lucky to be here in this spot.
Hey folks, please do keep the aisles clear. Please do keep the walkways between the tables clear. I highly recommend using under the table to store your pool cue cases rather than in spaces between the tables or on the back of the chairs. Please do keep those clear for safety reasons. Thank you.
Okay, they're getting to work here. I kind of like, for the next shot here, I kind of like playing a stop shot on the 5. Come full into the 5 and hit with just a stop shot on it, and you can just freeze that cue ball right to the 6 and pop the 5 out of there, making it those two a little bit easier to deal with later. I do like that as an option. Now, I think his partner might be coming up to kind of give him some coaching here to see if that's a good idea as well. Because at some point, they do have to figure that out. You don't really want to take a combo shot on the 5-6 unless you have to. I think they could make it a little bit easier.
Table 28, we have keep it simple and hang your hooligans, keep it simple. 28. Table 18, we have Timon and Pumbaa, and Metadata, Timon and Pumbaa, table 18.
Okay, so he attempted the cut shot all the way down. Not a bad idea because he still didn't really give any great opportunities here. Unless he can see that 10, he might be able to play this 10 ball. Yeah, he probably can actually. I think he's got enough of it to cut that 10 right into the corner, sending the cue ball up table. So a little bit of a higher risk shot on that 5 ball. I think the safety might have been the better play there. Yep. Oh, it doesn't go. So an extra opportunity for Lucky to be here. And Matt Becken at the table doesn't really have a great look here, even though they're lucky to be here back at the table, but it doesn't really have a great opportunity for any kind of offensive shot. The 5 is difficult. The combo is difficult. I do not like this safety here. If he's playing a safety, this is really tough to execute perfectly. It's very easy for that 6 to leak out and open up and leave them an opportunity. Yeah, it's just that is such a difficult safety. I think the offensive shot was far, far easier than executing that safety just perfectly. I mean, I like the idea. You want to be defensive minded, but you have to be aware that that type of safety right there is extremely difficult to judge the speed. And so he does sell out the opportunity here to close out rack number 3. Ashley just needs to get her partner a look at the 8 ball. And she does very nicely. I think her partner's going to be pretty happy with this. Mark that side pocket. And that's all she wrote for rack number 3. So a costly mistake there on that safety. I think in hindsight, he would say, I should have went for the offensive, whether it was a combo shot or a long 5 ball. Just go in guns blazing because at least you go down swinging. That's all part of the learning process of this difficult game. So 16 now on the hill. So Ashley going with the dead center ball break here and does not pocket a ball. And that's going to bring up Chad Andreessen from Lucky to be here to get this rack started. So eyeing up the 1 ball to get start. I think that's his best shootable ball there.
Boning ourselves and big shoots, table 32.
All right, so they are working through the puzzle here of solids. And the biggest problem ball is the 7 ball. Puts that in the hole, but they got to figure out this problem here with the 7 and the 11. 7 does not have a home, I don't believe. It might play in the side pocket, but it's too tough to tell. Okay. This 12 might play off the rail, off the 4 into the pocket. Okay, did a good job pocketing that 6 ball and just getting rid of that ball. However, that does open up the pocket. I do see now that the pocket might be open for the 7 here later in the rack. So he can play the 4 and then the 7 potentially. He's looking at it. He's also looking to see if the 7 plays in the side pocket. He might take it now. I believe it does. So he's going to attempt the 7 to the side. Good job getting it out of trouble. And not really leaving much to shoot at for Ashley.
No. I like what he used. We've got another break for the 25. Yeah, I don't like
Good attempt from Ashley there. And I wonder, yeah, he's looking at the 5, but I kind of like playing the 7. I play that 7 with some draw, some just straight draw on that ball, and try to slide that cue ball down into this direction here. Past the 8, or even if you bump the 8, you'll be okay. But it's just almost like a stun draw. You want to just stun that cue ball down table and give yourself an opportunity at that 5 next. Let's see if he's got that in his arsenal. He could also go top and go off the side rail and back out. That might be a good play as well. So he does that shot, comes into the 8, as just as we called. So good shot there, getting a partner a good look at the 5 ball. And I think the 4 might need to be bumped, but maybe not. If the 4 plays clean, it's much nicer. It makes it much easier. But if you have to bump it, he's going to have to shoot it with some draw and try to run into the 4 and improve position on that 4 ball. Difficult reach, I think, too, for a right-handed player. A little awkward for a right-handed player. If you shoot left-handed, this is much easier to lean over the table and execute this shot, but a right-hander might choose to use the bridge because his body is going to be all the way over here, and that just makes everything more difficult, the leaning and everything over. But he's a fairly tall guy, so he gets underneath the 4 ball. And speaking of tall guys, his partner is quite tall. Matt Becken, probably 6'2", maybe taller.
We have
have the daily winners for the
Try to-
wins over there at the kiosk.
Try to send that 4-ball up table.
Actually, it says, no, this actually says dollars. Huh. Justin Walker. It's $100. Deanna Barnes. Larry Gee.
Okay, good attempt at the 4, but
Everyone, you got $100. Daniel, I can't pronounce it, so I get it. Daniel Quaycheen and Marinda Ledgerwood. Daniel Quaycheen. So, Keishan, okay. Okay, in order to get your $100,
Okay. Good shot there from Scott to break up a little bit of that cluster there and try to open up those stripes a little bit more.
And you come back up here and you buy around the house.
He does kind of tie up the 9-ball, but the 9 still has a couple of pockets that it plays to without breaking it out. So the 9-ball plays to the side, I believe, and it also plays to this pocket. So you don't have to worry about breaking it out if you don't have to. Ashley's just going to pocket a ball and let her partner do the heavy lifting. Although she's getting him really good position on her shots, so playing very strong for the skill level 4. I foresee this team doing very well in this tournament. They seem to play very well together. Good rhythm. Good communication. And now from here, you might just choose to play a safety if you like. You can. Or you can continue the run if you're comfortable with it. But you have the option of easy safety here. She opts to go offensive here. And Scott left with this 10-ball. So Scott plays the safety. Smart play on that 10-ball from Scott. Very smart. Make the opponents do the work for you. And they are in a bad spot, being down 2-1 and being left with a kick shot on the 4-ball. Successful shot. Not a bad outcome. And I like another safety here from Ashley. If I'm Ashley, I'm going full into this 9-ball with just a little bit of, just a half a tip below. Just a half a tip below, and I'm just trying to stop it dead on the 10-ball. It's just a stop shot. So all you got to do is hit it as full as you can with stop. I think that's what he's going to coach her to do. Yep, he says that just right there. Just a tiny bit of low, just a little bit below center on the cue ball. Hit it with a little force, and cue ball will just stick right there. And what's this? Or, okay, so he's saying, or you can choose to do this one and leave the cue ball right there. If you're not comfortable with the stop shot on the 9, this is okay too. It just gives them a little bit more breathing room to try to kick at this ball. But this isn't bad. You've got distance and blockers, so you kind of got the double whammy here. So Matt at the table trying to find that kicking line to get to. I believe he wants to kick right before the, probably right about here is where I'm thinking to come into that ball. He has to hit above, before the side pocket. Sometimes you eye those out and it looks like the pocket is exactly in the spot that you want to hit, but I think it's right before the side pocket that he wants to hit. Yeah, he needed to get up a little bit lower on that and get to that ball. So ball in hand, great reward for their safety play and their defensive expertise. They get rewarded with the ball in hand. And Scott's going to try to set his partner up for kind of an easy, so they can get a 1, 2, 3, 4 ball out and close out the rack. And close out the set. They are on the hill. Nice job. Leaves his partner a little angle on the 1 and on the 9. That's going to help her just roll forward for the perfect shape on the 14 next. So she hits it with a little more pace than I think Scott was hoping she was going to. I think he kind of wanted her to just slow roll that ball in there so that he doesn't have this much angle on the 14, because now he has to play. Yeah, see, this is what he's looking at here. He's going to play the 14 in here, which is going to bring the cue ball. Really, it's going to naturally bring the cue ball here. So he has to draw the cue ball to get it to miss the 4, and then it's going to come out this way, and then Ashley's going to have to take a difficult 8 ball, or he could try to come all the way around the table and get closer. So not easy. Just having that extra angle make this a lot more difficult. Oh, what a shot. He hit it with perfect. He hit it with outside spin to get to that bottom rail and swerve back out. That was a fantastic shot on that 14 ball to get his partner great shape on the 8. And Ashley to close out the set. This is a strong team. I'm telling you, from the teams that I've watched today, my money's on these guys. Watch for Team 16 to go deep into this tournament. And there it goes, Ashley with the winning ball. And it's over 3-1, folks. 16 over Lucky to be here. You're watching this on the EvoSports platform. Stay tuned and subscribe to the YouTube channel on EvoSports. And we'll see you soon.